You have spent weeks, maybe months, coding your data. You have identified meaningful themes. Your analysis makes sense to you. But the moment you start writing Chapter 4, everything falls apart. The themes that felt so clear during analysis now seem scattered on the page. The quotes feel disconnected. The structure is inconsistent. And you are left wondering what went wrong. Here is the truth. Analyzing data and writing about that analysis are two completely different skills, and most graduate students are never taught the second one. In part 1 of this series, we discussed understanding thematic analysis and how to move from codes to clear themes. If you have not watched that video yet, I recommend doing so before continuing here. This video assumes that your topic, purpose, and research questions are already defined. Our focus here is specifically on writing your themes academically for Chapter 4. In this video, we will focus specifically on how to write your themes in a way that meets academic standards for Chapter 4. We will discuss what Chapter 4 is and what it is not, how to structure each theme clearly, how to use participant quotes appropriately, when sub-themes help and when they create confusion, and how to perform a quality check before submission. Let us begin. Section 1. What Chapter 4 is and is not. Before writing. Chapter 4. It is essential to understand its purpose within your dissertation or thesis. Chapter 4 is your findings chapter. Its sole function is to report what emerged from your data analysis. You are presenting the themes, describing what participants shared, and providing evidence through their words. Chapter 4 is not the place for interpretation. It is not where you explain why something occurred, connect findings to existing literature, or build theoretical arguments. Those elements belong in Chapter 5. This distinction is crucial, and many students struggle with it. Think of it this way. In Chapter 4, you are a reporter. You are documenting what happened, what participants said, and what patterns appeared across the data. You are not yet a theorist. You are not analyzing the meaning behind the findings or situating them within a broader scholarly conversation. The reporter mindset requires discipline. When you have spent months immersed in your data, you naturally begin forming interpretations. You see connections to literature. You understand implications. However, Chapter 4 requires you to set those insights aside temporarily. Your task here is to describe, not to interpret. Present the themes as they emerged. Let the data speak through your organized, clear presentation. Save the deeper analysis for the appropriate chapter. When you maintain this boundary, your Chapter 4 becomes cleaner, more readable, and more academically appropriate. Section 2. Structure of a strong theme. Each theme in Chapter 4 should follow a consistent structure. This consistency helps readers follow your findings and demonstrates methodological rigor. A well-written theme contains 3 core components: theme introduction, theme description, and supporting evidence. Let us discuss each one. Theme introduction comes first. Begin each theme with a clear, precise definition. State what the theme is about in 1 or 2 sentences. Avoid vague language. The reader should understand immediately what this theme captures. For example, rather than writing participants discuss challenges, you might write, "This theme captures the logistical barriers participants encountered when accessing mental health services in rural communities." The introduction sets the scope. It tells the reader exactly what to expect in the paragraphs that follow. Next comes theme description. After introducing the theme, describe the shared patterns across participants. What did multiple participants express that led to this theme? Section 3. Using participant quotes. Correctly, participant quotes are essential in qualitative research. They provide direct evidence from your data and give voice to your participants. However, how you use quotes significantly impacts the quality of your Chapter 4. One common mistake is quote dumping. This occurs when a researcher presents multiple quotes in sequence with minimal narrative between them. The result is a chapter that reads like a transcript rather than an academic finding section. Quotes should be integrated thoughtfully. Each quote needs context before it and, when necessary, clarification after it. The recommended approach follows this pattern. Introduce, quote, clarify. First, introduce the quote by indicating what it illustrates. For example, one participant described the emotional weight of caregiving responsibilities. Then, present the quote. After the quote, provide brief clarification if needed. This might involve highlighting a specific phrase or connecting the quote back to the theme. Throughout this process, maintain your researcher voice. You are the author of this chapter. The quotes support your narrative, but you remain in control of the structure and flow. If your chapter feels like a collection of participant statements with minimal researcher presence, you have likely shifted too far toward the data and away from your role as the writer. Balance is essential. Let participants speak through their quotes while maintaining your scholarly authority over the presentation. Section 4. Subthemes and clarity. Subthemes can enhance your findings when used appropriately. They can also create unnecessary confusion when overused. Let us discuss when subthemes help. Subthemes are useful when a main theme contains distinct dimensions that are better understood separately. If a theme is broad and breaking it into smaller components adds clarity, subthemes serve a purpose. For example, if your theme involves barriers to healthcare access, you might have subthemes for financial barriers, geographical barriers, and informational barriers. Each subtheme captures a specific dimension of the larger pattern. In these cases, subthemes add structure and help readers navigate complex findings. Section 5. Final quality. Check. Before submitting. Chapter 4. Conduct a quality check to ensure your writing meets academic standards. First, check for describing versus interpreting. Read through each theme and ask yourself, am I describing what emerged, or am I interpreting why it emerged? Any interpretation should be removed and saved for Chapter 5. Second, verify clear definitions. Check that each theme begins with a clear definition. A reader should understand what the theme is about within the first 2 sentences. Third, ensure quotes support researcher voice. Review how quotes are integrated. Are they introduced properly? Do they support your narrative rather than replace it? Is your researcher voice present throughout? Fourth, check for consistency. Ensure each theme follows the same structure. Consistency demonstrates methodological discipline and makes the chapter easier to read. Outro. Writing themes academically requires attention to structure, clarity, and boundaries. Chapter 4 has a specific purpose, and that purpose is to report your findings clearly and systematically. When you understand what Chapter 4 is meant to accomplish, structure each theme consistently, use quotes as supporting evidence rather than the primary narrative, and maintain your researcher voice throughout. The chapter becomes more coherent and academically appropriate. This is a skill that develops with practice. Each draft brings more clarity. In the next video in this series, we will discuss moving from Chapter 4 to Chapter 5 and how to transition from description to interpretation appropriately. Thank you for watching.